Hey folks, Steve here. It is May 19th, 2025. It's been a while since I posted anything on this channel. It's pouring outside. Don't know if you can see that or not. So it's going to be a short little video here, but I just wanted to show you my Radley chainsaw 52cc. I've dropped it down to a 16-inch bar. I'm not a fan of huge bars unless I have to have one on. It came with a 20. But anyway, let me flip you around here just so I can show you what I have done here so far. So here she is. It's a Radley 52cc that I purchased from Home Hardware. When I got the saw, it worked good, but it was glowing here in the exhaust. So you can see I've changed the exhaust out and made some modifications. It breathes a lot better now. It was literally turning red in the piston and making the exhaust glow. I've changed out the bar for now to a Husqvarna. The pitch on the bar is 0.325. It's a 0.58 bar and like I say, 20 inches. I changed out the felling spike for a 3-spike. I'm more a fan of that than the original one that came on the saw, which is a bit lightweight. What else have I done here? Yeah, really that's about it. I've tuned it up a bit. And I'm going to chuck it on the tack today just to see what it's revving at now and give you a listen to it. So just one moment here, I'll get her started up and we'll let you see. So there you have it, the Radley 52cc. I say it's probably not a true 52cc, but it has plenty of power. She's made to rev up at 8,500 is what the specs show, but I had it revving, as you can tell by the tack, at about 9,500. That's only been since the modifications on the exhaust and the retune. Before that, it was running about 8,400, 8,500. So after the exhaust modifications to an open non-cat exhaust and the tuning, it's gained about 1,000 RPM, and it also no longer bogs. We also resolved the issue with the overheating. It was literally glowing, which is horrifying for a saw, yes. So let's go through the features one more time just to show you. Like I say, another day I'll get you out to put her in the wood pile. So there she is, the Radley 52cc from Home Hardware. It's a really well built saw, solid. It's got good plastics, everything seems durable. The things I like about the saw is the old school. It has the pull-out choke, which is very solid. Toggle switch for the on-off, which I like. I'm very old school. I don't want anything that I have to hook to a computer to work on. And this I picked up just to give it a go, basically. I have other saws, but this one I wanted to give a try. So the features on this saw that I really liked from the factory were, one, it has an all-weather plug. So if we take off the air filter box here, the box cover, sorry, which a lot of people complain that it seems to be cross-threaded or whatnot. I've had no issues with it. So the features I did like are, one, it has a cold weather, warm weather plug. So if you're working incredibly cold temperatures, not here in Nova Scotia so much, but if you're working out west or somewhere where it gets really cold, you could just pull that plug out and it allows extra heat to come through from the engine into the cavity. And that keeps the saw warm and running properly. Another feature that I really like on this saw, which you really don't normally see on a saw of this price range, it's 199 Canadian plus tax. It has an adjustment, I don't know if you can see it there, but for the oiler, which is a really good feature. The handle seems really heavy and really durable. It does have anti-vibration. It's a little different than the one on my other saws. This one is actually, I don't know if you can see it, but bushings on the body, which allows it to vibrate, and it does work really well. Another feature that I really, really like is, if you can see it there, the side adjustment. I'm not a fan of having to go in front of the saw beside the bar to adjust the chain tension. I'm not a huge fan at all. So this I don't have to modify, which is nice. The pitch on the chain is 0.325. It's a 0.58 bar that I'm running, 7 sprocket. So typical Husqvarna Johnson Red type bar. It's a little narrower teeth, more of them, as you can see, unlike a 3/8 where I believe you have less teeth and wider, bigger teeth. Yeah, it's been great so far. The only problems I did have were, as I said, I replaced the exhaust with an open port and modified it so it's a non-cat exhaust now. The original exhaust, which I'll show you here, was a cat exhaust. I took the pieces off to put on the other one, but if you look inside, you can see the cat. It was incredibly blocked up and doesn't allow proper flow, and it was turning red in the exhaust while you were running the saw, and it took forever to cool down. So, sorry, get you back on the saw here. So, needless to say, that had to be rectified. I did change out the plug. It had I believe it was called a torch. I didn't like the plug. It didn't seem to work very well, so I changed it over to an NGK. Could probably change it to a Champion as well. I'm sure they have an equivalent. Another thing, much like the Troy-Bilt that I have here, they have the similar filters, and these allow a lot of sawdust in from the factory. I'm not a fan of, not just on this saw, but any saw that has this type of filter. But if I changed it over to a paper filter, I was a little worried that I wouldn't be able to get the bolt to line up because this is offset. So to rectify it, I basically just took a little bit of gasket maker or silicone and went around the edge of the gasket, or sorry, the edge of the filter. And since I've done that, I found no particles or particulates inside of the filter, so it seems to be working. Let me put this back on here. Yeah, just a nice little saw. And it does have plenty of power, especially since I've done the modifications to it. I found when I opened up the exhaust to a non-cat, there we go, to keep these nice and tight. Yeah, so since I changed it to a non-cat type exhaust, it's gained a lot of giddy up, a lot more power. I did have to retune it, and I probably still have to retune it a bit, but for now it's fine until I can get it in some wood for you. I did change over the spikes because I found the spikes that came with the saw a bit lightweight. See if I can find them here for you. So here is the original spike that came on the saw. And I'm not a fan of non-aggressive spikes, and I kind of like the 3 spike. So as you can see, the spike that I've replaced it with is substantially beefier, thicker, just a heavier spike that bites in a little better. But there was nothing wrong with the original spike. I'm just not a fan of them. What else can I tell you here? The brake works great. When you put it on, it works every time. Aside from that, yeah, it's got a chain catcher underneath, which again, for a $199 saw is probably, pretty much unheard of. Get some particles out of there. She revs nice and high, lots of power. This is going to make a nice backup saw. The bar that came on the saw initially is the one that you can see over here on my my old Johnson. Old Faithful, as you can see. Johnson Red 2055. Well, it's kind of emergent. So I've combined a 2055 with a 2054 because I had a saw that wasn't running anymore, but that's the 20-inch bar that came on the Radley, and it works fine. Like nice and loose. I did oil. It has oil fittings, or grease fittings, sorry, in the front of the bar. And as you can see, 325, 58, 20-inch. I did change the chain over. I put a new chain on this one as well. And I put a new chain on the Radley. See if I can get it there for you. I've been doing quite a bit of cutting with it, so they're in need of a sharpening now, but they're more of an aggressive tooth. The original chain that came on the Radley, I mean, it would have worked in a pinch, but as you can probably see, or maybe see, try to get you in focus here, it's quite rounded, and it would have needed quite a bit of sharpening, and it really doesn't feel like the best quality of chain. But if you're just a homeowner cutting some, anywhere probably between 10 and 18 inch, this will get the job done. But I would at some point swap it out because it's not as good a quality as like the Oregons or the lasers even, which are much sharper and much more aggressive. This is just kind of a lightweight. You can tell it's a cheap chain, but again, it'll do the trick for you. And I keep it here as a spare because if something happens to my other 20-inch chains, I can always swap it out and I'm back in business. And she's been sitting a while, so I'm just going to flip you around here again, and let's see how she starts now that she's been sitting. So just to show you, I'm going to flip on the switch. So for now, that's all I can do for you because I'm not going to go out in the rain and cut wood. But hopefully that's been a little helpful for anybody who was considering this saw. Lots of great features. It's $199 Canadian plus tax. You can't beat that, and you really can't get anything else for that price. After having it in the wood pile, I mean, it cuts as good as any of my other saws. I got John Surretts and steel and Troy Bilts and some other stuff over in the other side, or John Surrett. But yeah, so for now, that's all we can do. Next time, I'll see you in the woodpile. Take care. Greetings from Nova Scotia.